Okay, so about the new things in the game content tools, the game content kit, there is a new material smart rename that is basically creating a new material tag with the name you enter into it. It renames also the material layer in the shadow tree on the side, and it defines the shading model you are using. So instead of selecting your own and defining your own materials every time you create a new material in the shadow tree, you can already set it by default with a specific shading model. So I will open the game content main command, and you can see that here it's already set to M. So once I press M, I will get the set material loaded. So I will open the training scenes. I will click over here, training scenes, and on game content, I will click on the set smart material. So this is a basic model, right? We have just a bunch of polygons that are separated. And I will open the preferences over here and take a look at the game content options. So in the game content options and in my smart material settings, I have the smoothing angle that is defined, the weight by polygon area that I'm always checking every time. So here I'm just loading the scene, and already the base material is set to this. But of course, it's up to you when you are starting a new scene. It will already get probably the settings like the default one, so with 16 degrees and weight by polygon area disabled. But once you will press the M key, and you will get a prompt up for the material name. So I will just select the first one and define maybe the material shading model to traditional. And once I define this over here, you see it's already set over there as a visual reference. Once I press the M key over here, I will get a pop-up to ask me what is the name of the material. So I will just name Trady, press OK, and it prompts up the diffuse color, so I can define the diffuse color of this material. And as you can see, the material mask is getting the same name as the material, of course, but also the material name directly is with a suffix that is defined over here, and the name of the material we've set before. Because usually when you add a material, you just add the material, and the material is just named like this, material, right? So it's not that convenient, and I wanted to add this on the request of Volker Troy that was talking about this on the Slack. So yeah, now you can define the suffix you want. You can just add M key or material name, and material and underscore the name of the material. And so yeah, it's basically this. You can check also here we have the smoothing angle set and the weight by polygon area set. So now I have changed to energy conserving. I will select those polygons and press the M key, and we will name this E for energy conserving, and press OK. Now we get also again the material diffuse color pop-up to define it, and the material name is respected with the suffix we've defined, and that's all. Smoothing angle, weight by polygon area. So everything is working right now. Now I will just change this to M, change to physical based. This one physical, and as you can see, the shading model is physical based. Here it's energy conserving, here it's traditional. It's all working, right? I will not start it now. Principled, so this one principled. So it's really convenient, especially if you are using different workflow where you have to set this again and again and again, and it's just automatic this way. You just have access directly to the diffuse color. It's really simple. Of course, you will have to set the specular amount and that stuff, but maybe I can add an option to pop up first the diffuse color and then the specular color or specular amount in a pop-up. It's up to the feedback I will receive. But it's not just functioning on the main Modo material. The main Modo material have different shading models. So we've seen traditional, energy conserving, physical based, and principal. Principal one is the default one, right? But now we can also define Unreal material. And once you do this and press the M key here, we can say that we are in Unreal Engine, and we create the material. And as you can see, we are defining the color for the base color. And also it puts a constant at the top. The constant is using the base color defined over here and set it onto this color layer. And what is good is that now you can identify easily in the viewport the material. So here I'm just in default one in Modo, but as you can see, even if I define the base color that is colored purple, it's not shown in the viewport. So I decided to add this constant on the top, and so of course if I change the color over here and define a blue one, it's automatically updating the constant on the top. So yeah, same thing with the naming, it preserved the naming, so we have m_u he, and same for the constant. So it works also for Unity. Again, we'll call this Unity. It's asking for the color, and we have the naming correctly, and same thing with the constant. If you didn't want the constant, you can uncheck this and it will work without the constant layer override. So of course it works with glTF and AXF as well. That's it for the material. Give me some feedback on this if you want to get the specular color, anything like that.